Yes guys, welcome to a brand new video. My name is Conan, head coach at Barbarian Physique, and I just got done grocery shopping. Got a bunch of groceries right over here, and so in today's video I'm going to walk you through exactly what I get to build muscle, lose body fat, and feel unstoppable. So we've helped hundreds of busy men drop body fat, and the biggest component of why they did so was due to their nutrition. So do not sleep on your nutrition, and if you dial this in, you are guaranteed to lose your body fat. And all of it starts with the food that is inside of your house. So we're going to break things down one by one, and let's get into it. So we're going to break this up into three different components. So we're going to break it into proteins, carbs, and fats in no particular order, but the three main macronutrients, which everyone should be eating all three of these macronutrients. You need every single one of them to feel good, build muscle, keep your hormones healthy. We do not exclude any food groups, any foods for that matter, inside of our program. We do not preach any of that. We're all about flexible dieting. So let's start with the carbs. Now, when I say carbs, that also includes your fruits and veggies, because these are primarily carbs as well. They just have a ton of fiber, vitamins, minerals included in them as well. So as you guys can tell, the majority of my carbohydrates actually come from fruits and veggies. These are super satiating. They keep me nice and full and helps me stick to my daily calorie goal a lot easier. We also do have some actual whole grains in the form of oatmeal right over here, but for the most part, I just enjoy eating a ton of fruit and a ton of veggie. I really enjoy the natural sweetness from like the apples, for example, the strawberries, the blueberries, and then also I like to have a bowl of oatmeal every single morning. So those are going to be my carbohydrates. And the reason why we want to include carbohydrates into our diet is to just give us energy, because it's our body's primary source of energy. And if you actually want to feel energized every single day, I highly encourage you to eat carbohydrates, not just physical energy, but then also mental energy. So especially if you work a desk job and you work a really demanding job and you have to just use a lot of brain power, carbs are going to be very, very beneficial. So do not exclude them. One thing I forgot to mention is that I also have potatoes right over here, the russet potato. These are also very satiating. If you look at the index, you can actually tell that the russet potatoes are the most satiating carbohydrate that you can also eat. So as you guys can tell, there's a big theme amongst me choosing good quality carbohydrates, because there are also bad carbohydrates that you can eat, mainly just like in the form of sugar, whether it's candy or just something that digests really, really quickly, which spikes your blood sugar, but then you immediately will drop it and your energy will crash. So that is why we want to include carbohydrates that have a ton of fiber in them, just to slow down the digestion and give us more of like an even stream of energy flow throughout the day, as opposed to spiking it and then crashing down. Now let's move over to the second macronutrient, which is fats. Now the top three fats that I personally like to eat on a daily basis are whole eggs, avocados, and nut butter, specifically almond butter. There's only a couple handful of healthy fats that I kind of keep in rotation, but these are like the go-tos for me. And like I said at the start of this video, you need fats in your diet to keep your hormones nice and healthy, and especially your testosterone levels. When I did my bodybuilding show back in 2021, I absolutely just like slashed all fats out of my diet, and I noticed that my libido, my sex drive, my energy levels, my hormones, everything was just all out of whack, and that was due to my fats being extremely low. So if you want to be healthy and be energized and keep your hormones healthy, highly recommend to not eat a low fat diet. Keep your fats to a minimum of at least 0.4 grams of fats per pound of body weight. But yeah, these are absolutely amazing. So when it comes to the almond butter, I like to add this as a topping to either like my oatmeal for breakfast. When it comes to the avocados, I like to add this to my regular lunches and dinners. So whether I'm having like a chicken stir fry or some potatoes and chicken, whatever it may be, just adding an avocado on the side can make it just like so much more delicious. And then when it comes to eggs, these are also a great source of healthy fats and also vitamin A. This is a great option to eat for breakfast with like your oatmeal, maybe some toast on the side as well. But these are also phenomenal. Now last but certainly not least is the protein. So similar to the fats, there's only a handful of protein sources that I typically like to keep in rotation. So first of all, eggs, not only are they a great source of fats, they're also a good quality source of protein. Now if you want to keep your fats a bit lower and add more protein, then I would advise simply having the egg white, which is simply just pure protein, and not the egg yolk, because the entire egg, the yolk is where the fatty part is, and the white is where strictly the protein is. Second option here is protein powder. This is the most convenient way to get your protein in. It's also the highest quality protein as well. On top of that, it's also probably one of the cheapest protein that you can get per serving. A lot of people bash on protein powder, and now yes, it is somewhat more processed. It is still a very high quality source of protein, and it has all 9 essential amino acids, so it's a complete source of protein, and it simply just comes from dairy, right? Like if you're getting like a whey-based protein powder, like that just comes from dairy, right? Same thing as like drinking milk or eating cheese or Greek yogurts. Like all of this comes from a cow, so it's definitely a good quality source of protein. And then secondly is we got our Flex Pro meals right over here. I typically make one large order every single month, and I order chicken breast and steak as well. So these are going to be my go-tos for protein, and this just makes it so convenient to quickly whip this up for lunch and for dinner, especially if you're super busy running errands and you're on the go. Having a meal prep delivery service just deliver your meals to you is going to be very beneficial, and it will save you a bunch of time and also a bunch of money as well. So that is everything that I get, and this will last me an entire week. And now the total was $52.76. So I try to keep my limits at around $50 per week for groceries. calories. Now, considering that I'm only feeding myself, this is more than enough for me. Now, if you're feeding 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, you're gonna have to spend a bit more. But I highly recommend, if you do have more people to feed, is buy food in bulk, because buying foods in bulk will make the price, at least per serving, a lot cheaper, and it'll also last you a really long time. So if you're feeding many people, buy things in bulk. If you're just feeding yourself, then yeah, you can definitely get away with still eating super healthy food, high quality food as well, for under $50 a week. So like I said at the start, your nutrition will play a vital role in you losing body fat or not. So make sure that you dial this in. Make sure that you come to the grocery store prepared, have a list, have it all written down for you, and do not go when you're hungry. Because when you go to the grocery store when you're hungry and you're surrounded by just a bunch of food, especially living in the US, you are bombarded by just a bunch of crap food. Make sure that you come prepared and not hungry. And another tip that I have for you is try to shop around the perimeter of the store and not in between those aisles, because in between those aisles is where you tend to see most of like the hyper palatable processed foods, like the chips, the sweets, the sugars, the fries, all this stuff, right? So try to shop around the perimeter, where you'll have like your meat section, your dairy section, your fruits and veggies section, and mostly all the fresh stuff will be around the perimeter. Now, if you want to lose 30 to 50 pounds in the next 6 months, go ahead and schedule a free consultation call with me down below. We'll basically go over your goals, go over your biggest struggle, and create a game plan together to help you absolutely crush them in the next couple of months. I'll see you there. Peace.